Did you know that the human eye can actually distinguish over 10 million different colors, and some phone displays are getting closer than ever to replicating that range? In the world of smartphones, the display is the centerpiece of the user experience. Whether you're watching movies, playing games, scrolling through social media, or simply texting, the display is constantly in use, and its quality can make or break the experience. In recent years, smartphone display technology has advanced at a blistering pace, bringing brighter screens, smoother animations, deeper blacks, and wider color gamuts. But with so many great displays on the market, the simple question, which phone has the best display, is surprisingly complex. This article explores that question from multiple angles: display types and technologies, specific devices and how they compare, and how different users might prioritize different characteristics. Our journey begins with understanding the fundamentals of smartphone display technology. 1. Understanding display technologies. Smartphone screens predominantly use two types of panel technologies, LCD and OLED. LCD, or liquid crystal display, was the dominant technology for many years. It relies on a backlight that shines through liquid crystals to produce images. OLED, or organic light-emitting diode, on the other hand, produces light on a per-pixel basis. Each pixel can be turned on or off independently, allowing for true blacks, higher contrast, and often richer colors. OLED displays now dominate the flagship smartphone market because of their superior contrast ratios and energy efficiency when displaying darker imagery. Within OLED, there are variants like AMOLED, Super AMOLED, and LTPO OLED which support adaptive refresh rates that can dynamically switch between 1 Hz and 120 Hz for better battery life and smoother visuals. 2. Resolution and pixel density, more than just numbers. Resolution refers to the number of pixels on a display, often presented as width times height, for example, 1440 times 3200. Pixel density, measured in pixels per inch p.p.i.apostrophe, indicates how sharp the display will appear. Higher resolutions provide finer detail, which is especially noticeable when reading small text or viewing high-resolution photos and videos. However, beyond a certain threshold, usually around 400 to 500 ppi on a phone, the human eye struggles to perceive additional detail at typical viewing distances. As a result, manufacturers sometimes prioritize battery life and performance by opting for slightly lower resolutions that still look excellent in practice. 3. Refresh rates, smoothness and motion. The refresh rate, how many times the screen updates per second, has become a major battleground. Historically, most phones offered 60 Hz displays, meaning they refresh 60 times per second. Today's top devices commonly feature 90 Hz, 120 Hz, and even adaptive refresh rates that can change depending on content. Higher refresh rates make animations and motion feel smoother and more responsive. This is especially beneficial in gaming and scrolling, where the difference between 60 Hz and 120 Hz is immediately noticeable. Some advanced displays can scale down to conserve battery life when static content is on screen. 4. Brightness, HDR, and color accuracy. Brightness determines how well a display can be seen in bright environments, especially outdoors. Peak brightness, often measured in nits, is critical for HDR content and sunny outdoor usage. Higher peak brightness enhances readability and makes highlights in HDR video pop. HDR, high dynamic range, allows displays to show a wider range of luminance and colors compared to standard dynamic range. Phones with good HDR support can display deeper highlights and more vivid scenes when playing compatible content. Color accuracy and gamut are also key. A wide color gamut like DCI P3 or even Display P3 enhances vibrancy, while accurate tuning ensures that colors are faithful rather than oversaturated. Professional users, photographers, and videographers often seek displays with precise color reproduction. 5. Top contenders, leading phone displays today. Today's flagship smartphones push the limits of display innovation. While the best display can depend on priorities, several devices repeatedly stand out in reviews and tests for their brightness, color performance, refresh rates, and overall visual quality. 1. Samsung Galaxy S series. Samsung's flagship Galaxy S line, especially the Ultra models, consistently delivers some of the brightest and most vibrant displays in smartphones. Known for their deep blacks, excellent contrast, and high peak brightness, Samsung AMOLED displays often top tests for overall quality. With support for QHD+ resolutions and adaptive 120 Hz refresh rates, these screens combine sharp detail with silky motion. 2. Apple iPhone Pro models. iPhones have long been praised for their color accuracy and consistent performance across viewing conditions. Apple's displays, often branded as Super Retina XDR, target industry standards for brightness and color fidelity. While iPhones have historically capped refresh rates at 60 Hz, newer Pro models introduce ProMotion with adaptive 120 Hz support, dramatically improving smoothness. 3. Google Pixel phones. Google's Pixel series may not always hit the highest resolution numbers, but their displays offer excellent color accuracy and integration with software features like adaptive brightness. Pixel phones also benefit from software-level enhancements for media and gaming, making their screens more enjoyable in real-world use. 4. OnePlus Ultra phones. OnePlus has become known for offering high refresh rate displays at competitive prices. Its flagship models provide vibrant AMOLED screens with up to 120 Hz refresh, high refresh rate tuning, and good brightness levels. While they may not always match Samsung's peak brightness, they deliver excellent value and performance. 5. Sony Xperia series. Sony's Xperia line targets media enthusiasts with wider aspect ratios and displays tuned for cinematic content. Often supporting 4K resolution panels and HDR enhancements, these phones are ideal for consuming movies and videos, though the taller form factor can be divisive. 6. Side-by-side comparison. What matters most? To decide which phone truly has the best display, it's helpful to consider key metrics and what they mean in practice. Brightness and outdoor visibility. Brightness matters when using your phone outdoors under direct sun. Phones that exceed 1000 nits in peak brightness, especially in HDR content, will be easier to read and more adaptive under harsh lighting. Refresh rate and smoothness. For everyday use, a 120 Hz refresh rate feels more fluid than 60 Hz. Users who game frequently or value responsive scrolling will prefer higher refresh rates. Color accuracy. For creative professionals and enthusiasts, accurate color reproduction is essential. Phones calibrated to industry standards like DCI-P3 or sRGB ensure photos and videos look as intended. Contrast ratio and blacks. OLED displays excel here, with near-infinite contrast due to true blacks. Deep blacks improve perceived visual quality, especially in dark scenes. HDR support. Not all HDR claims are equal. Phones that support HDR10+ or Dolby Vision can display richer highlights and deeper shadows in compatible video content. 7. User priorities. What display features matter most? While tech specs are useful, what you value in a display might differ from others. For gamers, high refresh rates 90 Hz or 120 Hz and low touch latency are top priorities. Gamers also benefit from displays that maintain smooth performance under sustained loads. For media consumers, brightness and HDR performance matter most here. If you watch a lot of movies and streaming content, a display with excellent brightness, contrast, and color gamut will be most enjoyable. For photographers and creatives, color accuracy and calibration are key. Professionals may prefer displays that adhere to color standards and have tools for manual calibration. For everyday users, balanced performance across brightness, smoothness, and color can be most satisfying. Most people want a display that looks vivid, handles sunlight well, and scrolls smoothly, without necessarily needing flagship-level peak specs. 8. Where mid-range phones fit in. While flagships grab headlines for cutting-edge displays, mid-range phones have made substantial improvements. Many now offer AMOLED displays with 90 Hz or 120 Hz refresh rates, respectable brightness levels, and solid color performance. Though they may lack the peak brightness or advanced HDR support of flagships, they represent excellent value. 9. Future trends in smartphone displays. Display technology continues to evolve. Foldable and rollable screens are expanding the idea of what a smartphone display can be, offering larger canvases without sacrificing portability. Micro-LED, a newer self-emissive technology, promises even higher brightness and energy efficiency in the future. Additionally, under-display cameras and sensors aim to eliminate notches and cutouts for truly uninterrupted visuals. 10. Quick summary. When it comes to choosing a new smartphone, the display is often one of the most critical factors. A great display can elevate your viewing experience, whether you're watching videos, browsing the web, or gaming. Over the years, display technology has advanced significantly, with manufacturers continually pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're going to be focusing on a few key areas: OLED versus LCD, resolution, refresh rate, and brightness. OLED displays, for instance, are known for their vibrant colors and deep blacks, while LCDs can offer better brightness and color accuracy in certain conditions. Resolution is also crucial, as it determines just how sharp and clear images appear on screen. Then there's refresh rate, which affects how smooth animations and video playback look. And let's not forget brightness, which is essential for using your phone outdoors. The phones we'll be comparing today all feature high-end displays, but they each have their unique strengths. For example, some boast incredibly high resolutions, making them perfect for gaming and video playback. Others have exceptional color accuracy, which is fantastic for professionals who need precise visuals. Refresh rates also vary, with some phones offering silky smooth scrolling and animations. Let's take a closer look at each phone's display. The first phone, with its OLED screen, offers stunning contrast and vibrant colors. Its high refresh rate makes for incredibly smooth visuals. However, some users might find the default color setting a bit too cool. The second phone, featuring an LCD display, excels in brightness, making it perfect for outdoor use. Its color accuracy is spot on, but it might not match the OLED's contrast. When we compare these displays side by side, the differences become apparent. The OLED phones tend to a better contrast and color vibrancy, while the LCD phones shine in brightness and color accuracy. It really comes down to personal preference and what you prioritize in a display. In my personal experience, I've noticed that the OLED displays tend to excel in everyday use, especially when watching videos or browsing social media. The high refresh rates make a noticeable difference in how smooth interactions feel. That being said, when I'm outside on a sunny day, the LCD displays with their higher brightness settings are definitely more readable. 11. Conclusion: is there a best display? After surveying technology, metrics, and user needs, the short answer is that the best display depends on what you value. For raw brightness and contrast, devices with premium OLED panels often lead. For color accuracy, displays tuned to professional standards excel. For motion and responsiveness, high refresh rates make a qualitative difference. Today's top smartphones from major manufacturers deliver displays that are brighter, smoother, and more immersive than ever before. Whether you choose based on gaming, media consumption, creative work, or general use, there's no shortage of excellent screens on the market. But ultimately, the best display is one that aligns with your preferences, and in that sense, the Showdown isn't about crowning a single victor, but about helping you find the right fit for your needs. Based on my testing, I think the best display overall is the one on the phone with the OLED screen and high refresh rate. It's perfect for gamers, video enthusiasts, and anyone who wants a visually stunning experience. However, if you're someone who spends a lot of time outdoors, the LCD display might be more suitable. If you're curious to know which phone display I think stands out from the rest, and which type of user would benefit most from each, be sure to check out my full review. I'd love to hear from you. Which phone display do you think has the edge? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tech comparisons and reviews.